Doc Solo here from Ka-Pow, the Comic Art Academy, the real art school for real people with real lives, taught by real industry pros. And speaking of industry pros, a few weeks ago, I had the pleasure of attending one of my favorite conventions of the year, Grand Rapids Comic-Con. It seems to be just the right size. The fandom there is phenomenal, and there's tons of great artists. And with great artists in mind, I had the unique pleasure of sitting down with an incredible creator named Seth Damoose. Now, the funny thing is, Seth and I've seen him at several shows in the Midwest, and for some bizarre reason, I never actually stopped and looked at his work. And it's not because his work isn't phenomenal. I think that was a me problem, quite honestly. Sometimes your boy Solo be slipping, but I wasn't slipping this time. And he was gracious enough to grant me 10 minutes of his very busy schedule to sit down and have a comic conversation. Here it is, me and Seth Damoose. Grand Rapids Comic-Con, check it out. All right, this is Doc Solo from Ka-Pow, the Comic Art Academy, the real art school for real people with real lives, taught by real industry pros. And on this segment of Comic Conversations, I have an incredible artist, Seth Damoose.
Yes, sir.
I want to make sure I said it correctly.
Unfortunately, it's just how it looks.
And we are live from Grand Rapids Comic-Con in Michigan. And so let me set up a little bit. I have been circling this guy for a couple of years, and I never really stopped at your table. I was like, okay, that's cool. And finally today I actually stopped before the show, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. And so
you're making me blush.
Anyway, I'm gonna hand it off to you, Seth. Thank you for joining us.
I'm happy to be here, man.
So tell us a little bit about yourself, your journey, what's brought you to this point.
No, so I started out in web comics. I'd always wanted to draw comics, always wanted to make comics. It's enamored with storytelling and the entire process growing up. And basically on a whim, my girlfriend at the time, my now wife, said, put a portfolio together. We'll go to Chicago and you can show your stuff around and we'll see what happens.
Chicago's where it happens.
Yeah, it was the old Wizard World show was where it was happening.
That's right.
Showed my portfolio around, made some connections, actually met a writer that would reach back out to me. And from there we created a webcomic, and started one page every week, put it up for free. Then it turned into 2, then it turned into 3, and then that garnered the attention of some publishers and other writers, and one project organically led to the next.
I love it.
Yeah.
So how did you get started? Take us in the Wayback Machine. Let's go to the Wayback Machine. What sparked your interest specifically in the comic craft, drawing in general? What kind of encouragements did you get along the way?
Well, so I grew up in a small private art college town in Wisconsin.
Okay.
So art and creating was always around me. We were surrounded by it. Like beat over the head with it. There was no other choice but to be a creative in some way. And oddly enough, my best friend at the time and we were both drawing because we were both into comic books and starting to get into like Dungeons and Dragons and creepy and eerie magazines and just loved the visual medium. But we were also making music and writing songs and playing instruments. And we decided that we didn't want to ever compete against each other as we got older. So one of us had to choose music and the other one had to choose art.
Oh, you are. We're good friends. My friends, we weren't like that. We went at each other's jugular.
Oh, no.
Like, last man standing, survive any way you can.
That's the way it is now.
Y'all did it the right way. That's how we did it in the hood. On the south side of Chicago. Right. Yo, bro, good luck. I hope you survive this encounter.
You're on your own,
I love you, man.
Yeah, I love you. You coming for dinner? We set that at like 11, 12 years old.
Okay.
And he's still a professional musician, and
I love it.
A professional artist.
I love it. So take us back to you mentioned you had some key interactions, some meetings in your path. Do you mind sharing what those were and how that looked?
No, so it was pretty crazy. So like I had said, I put together a portfolio in like 7 days, went down to Chicago, met a couple of writers. We started creating from there. At the same time, I was posting fan art of whatever superheroes or characters I could think of on the old Image Comics forums, just to get everything out there. The internet wasn't new, but it was still pretty fresh for me.
In its infancy, yeah.
So nobody knew what was going on or how deep it would go or how far it would get you, but I threw everything out there just to see if something would stick. Well, I ended up catching the attention of, and I hate to name drop, but I'm going to do it anyway.
Drop. No, I just did a video on how not to name drop. This is how you name drop. You name drop when asked. Okay?
Right.
Don't volunteer the information. Name drop when asked. When asked, it's okay to drop names. But don't try to drop names to establish yourself in somebody else's eyes. That is just tacky.
Fair. That's fair.
You dig what I'm saying?
Yep.
Drop as you will, my friend.
So I ended up getting lucky enough to catch the eye of Jim Valentino.
Okay.
So he liked what I did enough that he made the trip the following summer to the Wizard World in Chicago, where we met in person and got to talking about what I wanted to do, how I wanted to do it, if I had any of my own ideas. And I wasn't ready or confident enough yet to just put myself out there as myself. So he found a couple of writers to get to work with me, and that's the first 2 published professional comics that I had were both image books under the Shadowline imprint.
Were you on Cloud?
I was beside myself. I was 12, 13 years old again because I was there when Jim Valentino and all the other guys started Image, and that was the big thing of, look, we all get to do what we want to do, and nobody can control us. We're going to do it our way for ourselves and not have to share with anybody.
That's when Image was making those huge waves, y'all.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, they upset the industry as a whole, man.
They scared everybody.
Disruptors. They terrified people.
Yeah.
You know, they were doing some things. So how long did you do the Image thing, and when did you kind of branch out or explore new horizons?
So I did a 3-issue miniseries, and then it was a 5-issue series at Image. And then I got to working with another writer, and we did the self-published route just to kind of try something else. I never wanted to be pigeonholed into a certain genre. I like the idea of being able to dip my finger in every pool. So I've done superhero work, I've done sci-fi work, comedy work, horror work, all ages stories. A little bit of everything.
I love it.
Any chance I got to kind of branch off and work with somebody else or do something else or try to scratch a different itch, I jumped at it.
I love it. One of the things my students often ask me about is, number one, sources of inspiration. What gets your gears going? Even on a daily basis. We're not even talking about
everything.
Share some of that. What does that look like for you?
So I could see the shape of a tree, the shape of a leaf, the way somebody walks, or their gait, and the way they carry themselves might trigger something in my brain and say, oh, that would look really great if it was drawn this way, or that I could incorporate that into one of the quirks of a character that I'm working on, or into a character I love. Maybe that looks an awful lot like a Spider-Man move, the way that person dragged their foot or something. Anything really. Music, just flip on the radio station. Even if you don't like the music that's on the radio station at the time, try to find inspiration in why you don't like it, and then turn that into something, right? Like there's no bad information.
I love it. I'm doing a video soon on the myth of creativity, the myth behind it.
Yeah.
And I boil it down to a very basic formula. Information in equals information out.
Yeah, take it all.
Consume everything.
Yep.
And I love that. If you had to dial in on some really key influences on you creatively, who would you name?
Oh, so like artistic or style-wise?
Artistic, however that looks for you.
Definitely it would be, Rick Leonardi, number one.
Oh my gosh.
Like
I've been
trying to rip him off my entire life.
I see him in your work, especially how you use blacks.
I'm not hiding it.
Yeah.
So Rick Leonardi, Mike Waringo, Umberto Ramos, Mark Silvestri, big time. So then I traced that back to like John Buscema and then Frank Frazetta, because it was always curious to me, okay, so that's who influences me. Who influenced that guy?
Right.
Who influenced them? And see if I could take it all the way back.
Absolutely.
But then, like obviously, like a Jim Lee and Rob Liefeld were always key because I was the right age at the right time.
Okay.
Frank Frazetta, Mike Zeck, always good stuff. Alex Toth.
Yeah,
dude,
just all of them. You're getting all the notes,
yeah,
bro.
No.
Oh my god!
And that was it for me. And I mean, I got Alex Toth from the Creepy and the Eerie magazine.
Yeah.
Not from his Super Friends or the DC work. I saw his horror stuff first,
I love it.
and it was awesome.
I love it. Could you name, most of us have a patron or support system, that one seminal key person that kind of lit that fire, says, hey, you can do this. It may be like for me, it was my mom.
Yeah.
Right. You
Yeah.
know, sometimes it's an uncle. One person I talked to was their uncle. Who was that for you?
No, I'd say it was my mom.
Was your mom?
Yeah, I'd say it was my mom. It was the way she brought us up was always, we can do anything we want as long as we're willing to put the work in. We can have anything, we can do anything, because why not? As long as you show up early, stay late, do the work, do it right, and do it for the right reasons, you'll get whatever you want. It'll all come to you.
That is the message from the baby boomers.
Yeah.
And I tell people, I was telling one of our students here, we kind of messed it up because we left out do the work part.
Yeah.
We, Generation X, we started telling our kids, you can be anything, you can conquer the world, you can have it all, but we left out if you're willing to do the work.
You got to do the
You know
work.
what I mean?
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure.
You know?
And now we're frustrated with our kids because they're not doing the work.
They're not doing the work.
And
right?
it's my fault.
And it's our fault.
It
we
is our
did it,
fault,
right?
yeah.
We got to own that.
Yep.
And so in closing, us being an educational platform, do you have any pearls that you like to share, either creatively, either motivationally, to help spur the next generation of artists, to those who are curious about pursuing this, those that are in it or who feel stuck? You got anything you can share with them?
Draw every damn day.
The shirt,
Draw every day. And draw everything.
I got to meet you, DJ.
Yes.
He's promoting your shirt on my channel. I got to meet you, DJ. You do great videos, by the way.
But draw everything.
Yeah.
Like, don't be afraid of anything. Get out of your comfort zone. Draw from life. Draw still life. Draw people. It doesn't have to be, there is no perfect line.
Right.
One thing, again, to name drop, one thing Jim Valentino told me is the only perfect page is the one that's done.
I love it. I love it.
Because you're not getting paid if it ain't done.
Do the thing.
Do it. Yeah,
Don't
do the
talk
work.
about the thing. Do the thing.
Yeah, stop telling me what you're doing. Show me.
Do the thing. I love it. Thank you so much for your time, Seth. Man, it's been a pleasure.
Happy to be here.
And listen, you guys, check this man's art out. I'll be sharing it. It'll be in the B-roll, the whole 9 yards. He's amazing. I just regret that I didn't get on your bandwagon sooner.
Well, there's always room. There's always room. The more, the merrier.
All right. So this is Doc Soul from Ka-Pow, the Comic Art Academy, the real art school for real people with real lives, taught by real pros. And remember, life is short, so live each day as if it were your last. And if that is the case, draw like your life depends on it. I'll talk to you later. God bless.
I like it.
Did your boy deliver, or did your boy deliver? See, I don't do smoke. I don't do fluff here at Ka-Pow. The man is amazing. I mean, a perfect blend of talent and infectious personality. Just an all-around good guy. And listen, Seth, thank you so much for taking time out of your very busy schedule. I saw how you were getting down all weekend, and man, you're worth every bit of attention that you get. And it was a pleasure meeting you. And listen, if you like more comic conversations and the content that we're producing here at Ka-Pow School, leave a comment below. Let us know. Subscribe. Ring the bell so you will know when we're going live and when new content drops. And if you like to learn from me and my squad of industry pros, check us out everywhere at Ka-Pow School, at kapowschool.com, and anywhere social media may take you. We will be there. And until then, like I always say, life is short. Live, love, and laugh as if it's your last day on earth. And if that's the case, draw like your life depends on it. Solo out. Ka-Pow.